Let me kind of cut straight to the chase in Leviticus chapter 3 when we're talking about the peace offering. I don't I don't understand, or I didn't understand, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Maybe you can help me. When entering into somebody's house or their environment, and you're bringing peace to that environment, I hope you can agree with me that if you are of the tribe of Israel, your job is to bring peace. I mean, if we haven't figured that part out yet, then we're really in trouble. We're still talking about this, the baptism. But once you have accepted the kingdom of God, I'm hoping that we're beyond that stage where we understand that we are beyond the stage of understanding the purpose of the kingdom of God, the purpose of the kingdom of heaven. And if we're not beyond that, just keep listening, and you'll probably pick up on some other stuff as it pertains to the purpose of the kingdom. But assume that one part of our purpose is to bring peace and a perfected system that governs a nation or people group so that there can be overall prosperity all the way back to Genesis chapter 1. But I may be going too far for somebody's mindset. My son says you talk 2 and 3 levels deep. I don't do that on purpose. And maybe it's just the way I speak. I'm thinking about multiple levels, multiple dimensions when I speak. So maybe it does come across that way. I don't know. Maybe that's why I have 3 and 4 conversations at the same time, where some people may think it's craziness, but don't take the time to actually analyze exactly what's being said and how it fits together. All depends on how you look at it. But let's assume that the purpose of following the kingdom of God, since we agree that we want to follow the kingdom of God, which is his statutes, his principles, his precepts, let's assume we all stand in agreement on that. Let's assume that when we interact, we want to bring peace to another person's environment. Let's assume we're there as well, that we're there to bring peace, not to bring confusion, not to make things tough on people, but to bring peace to their world based upon the spiritual truths that are attached to the kingdom of God, which means there's also accountability. Explain to me why in the peace offering that it's so important in the book of Leviticus to talk about the inwards of the sacrifice being the 2 kidneys. I mean, they literally name the 2, God literally names the 2 kidneys, the fat, and the trail between the kidneys and the liver, which is called the caul, which is just fat as well. And take that separately and burn it on the wood and offer that up to God as a sacrifice. Now, maybe some of you do or don't think about these things like I do, but the one word that is a thread throughout all of it is protection of the body. That's what I get out of it, because the kidneys clean the blood and the urine to protect the system for the body to be healthy. The fat protects the organ itself. So the fat is there to protect the kidney, and the kidney is there to protect the blood and urine system that runs throughout the whole body. All that is being taken out and burned, tested, if you will, with fire, where it goes up and it becomes a savor in the nostrils of God. What's the significance of that? I'm not going to say I understand it or have wisdom on it. I'm just presenting it to you as I believe. The significance is taking that which protects you and offering it up to God. I think it speaks of transparency and openness. When you enter into someone else's life or their realm or their nation state, that you enter in clear with no other protections other than you're walking in offering the kingdom of God. I think you leave yourself open to rejection, as painful as it is. When I was in the car business for 27 years, it was, I think, a little strange for an insecure kid coming out of Chicago, born to a single parent mother, who could not stand rejection. It would make me cry as a kid. It would depress me because I wanted to be accepted by my cousins, but I just didn't feel accepted by any of them. I wanted to be accepted by my mother, but I just was not accepted by my mother. Now, before you say, "Oh," it wasn't my fault. Oh shoot, I forgot about that.
Thank you, Mr. Chip.
It wasn't my fault, and it's not about faults. What it's about is growing up with these transgressions, these iniquities, these sins, as we all do, walking in the transparency of what they are. So this is not something I hold against my cousins or my aunts or my uncles or my mother or whatever. That's not the issue. The issue is we all grew up with certain things happening in our life. And over a period of time, we build up fat to protect ourselves. And in building up that fat to protect ourselves, we start to close doors, build walls. I believe what God is saying is we take all those little protections away and we walk into the lives of individual people with the opportunity to be rejected, even though you're bringing peace. I believe that's why the peace offering is a sacrifice. You're opening yourself up to be rejected. I believe Jesus was a peace offering. And then people want to get off into, if was Jesus a real person and Christianity. Well, Christianity wasn't created until later on after Jesus' death. See, this isn't about Christianity. This is about the kingdom of God. This is about walking based upon a certain understanding of what truth is. This is about representing God the Father. This is about you becoming a son of God instead of being a child of God. This is about us moving from an economy that's based upon our desires to an economy that's based upon God's desires, which is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. You know, to love your neighbor as though you're looking into the face of God. The ministry of someone who I really love and care about She bases her ministry on feeding the poor, because it's as though when she's looking at a poor person, she is looking in the face of God, because our overall goal to be prosperous should be based upon loving and caring for God's people and welcoming them into the kingdom of God, not through preaching alone, but through demonstration. This is the peace offering. The peace offering is allowing yourself to be the sacrifice, to bring peace into the life of other people. Leviticus chapter 3, I really encourage you to read it.